Good morning, School of Light. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, world. Judges chapter 2. Let's hop right. Well, before I hop right to it, let me tell you about School of Light. We provide Bible studies, ages from 4 through adult. We have a student that's in her 80s. We have students as young as probably 7 and 8. It's the youngest I've personally helped. And it's in a organized, formatted way through a nonprofit school that rewards you certificate of completions. And the main thing is that you get God's word, the Bible, and sound doctrine into your life to build your life and your understanding of the Bible upon. So I'm reading through the book of Judges right now. Chapter 2, the angel of the Lord at Bochim. Well, I hope this message finds you in good health and sounds and peace spiritually. I'm here in New Mexico in my home and just looking out the door, and there's a huge expanse behind to the west. And, just it's a beautiful morning here in New Mexico. The angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochim and said, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you into the land that I swore to give to your forefathers. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall not make a covenant with the people of this land, but you shall break down their altars. Yet you have disobeyed me. Why have you done this? Now therefore I tell you that I will not drive them out before you. They will be thorns in your sides, and their gods will be a snare to you. When the angel of the Lord had spoke these things to all the Israelites, the people wept out loud, and they called that place Bochim. There they offered sacrifices to the Lord. After Joshua had dismissed the Israelites, they went to take possession of the land, each to his own inheritance. The people served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua and the elders who outlived him, and who had seen all the great things that the Lord had done for Israel. Joshua, son of Nun, the servant of the Lord, died at the age of 810. And they buried him in the land of his inheritance at Timnath-Heres in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gaish. After the whole generation had been gathered to their fathers, another generation grew up who knew neither the Lord nor what he had done for Israel. Then the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord and served the Baals. They forsook the Lord, the God of their fathers, who brought them out of Egypt. They followed and worshipped various gods of the peoples around them. They provoked the Lord to anger because they forsook him and served Baal and the Ashtoreths. In his anger against Israel, the Lord handed them over to the raiders who plundered them, and he sold them to their enemies all around, whom were no longer able to resist. Whenever Israel went out to fight, the hand of the Lord was against them to defeat them. Just as he had sworn to them, they were in great distress. Then the Lord raised up judges who saved them out of their hands from these raiders. Yet they would not listen to the judges, but prostituted themselves to other gods and worshipped them. Unlike their fathers, they quickly turned away from which their fathers had walked, the way of obedience to the Lord's commands. Whenever the Lord raised up a judge for them, he was with the judge and saved them out of the hands of their enemies as long as the judge lived. For the Lord had compassion on them as they groaned under those who oppressed and afflicted them. But when the judge died, the people returned to the ways even more corrupt than those of their fathers, following other gods and serving and worshiping them. They refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. Therefore, the Lord was very angry with Israel and said, because this nation has violated the covenant that I laid down for their forefathers and has not listened to me, I will no longer drive out before them any of the nations Joshua left when he died. I will use them to test Israel and to see whether they will keep the way of the Lord and walk in it as their forefathers did. The Lord had allowed those nations to remain. He did not drive them out at once by giving them into the hands of Joshua. So That's the end of chapter 2. And there was a part that jumped out at me as I was reading, an insight. And, it started with because these nations, because the people, and just say because you or I violated the relationship with God that we have, and it might be a sin cycle or something of that sort, and you have a violation of this covenant that we're supposed to walk in. And so in this Israel's case, he used the nations around Israel, to test them, because they were prostituting themselves to these other gods. They were putting these other gods first before our true God, the one true God. And then I see that, so he pulls like this blessing. And actually, it kind of alludes to that. He said that he would go against them too. So not only does he pull back a blessing, he kind of goes against, he appears to go against them. And for following other gods and serving and worshiping them, they refuse to give up their evil practices. These younger generations, after the judges, but when the judge died, the people returned to ways even more corrupt than those of their fathers. And I can see that, just in the 43 years I've been alive, I can see maybe every 10, 15 years, things getting better in a way, but also things getting kind of more corrupt, especially in in current times with government, not just local, but in the United States and in other countries as well. So he not only pulls the blessing, he actually goes against you or I, in this case, if we were Israel, especially if we keep on going back to these things and becoming worse and worse. And so the Lord allowed these nations to remain. He did not drive them out at once by giving them into the hands of Joshua. So Joshua had cleared out these areas, and then the people will serve the Baals. So it's almost, in my thinking, it's very similar to my life, and where, I might go clean up my life, and then start getting off of the line with God, and not so much serve the Baals. In a way, by not serving God, it is like serving the Baals. God forbid I worship Baals and Ashtoreth poles and Molech and sacrifice children and all that stuff. Like in the old heathen times, or the old religions of the beginning areas, Mesopotamian area. So my encouragement is stay pure, stay on that path. It's like, see if I can show you outside. But I'm just saying, I'm thinking like, you can go outside and stay in the bright light, or you can go into a building somewhere where it's dark and not so, what's the word? Positive feeling. It's a possibly low vibratory type of building with darkness and what some people might call creepy type thing. And if that was the option, it's kind of like our option in life. We can stay in the light, or we can do both, or just stay in the dark. But for those who want to be in the light, as Jesus is in the light, and for those who want to shine like the stars in the heaven by turning many souls back to God, saving souls, then it's smart to remain in the light as much as possible. And I'm glad I got back into the Word today to read it and to share it. I'm going to make this YouTube video as short as possible for upload reasons, and then continue again with Judges chapter 3. Judges is an interesting book, and I look forward to sharing some of the stories here with y'all. Have a good day. If you need Bible studies, you can call me personally at 931-538-9643, and I will get that information to our lady in Clarksville, Tennessee, who mails and grades and does all the real hard work. So have a good day. God bless. And we'll talk to you later.